Do you think she's married? That's what I wanted to ask. Let's start this off with like a good conspiracy theory. Jared, do you think she's married?
In like the weirdest terms, like I'm not trying to be like a downer, but I don't really care. Like
this is end of 2020. This is where we're at.
He's like, well,
sure, like like if you're married, great. Like if you're more importantly, if she's happy, then she's happy. But it's to me that's less important.
A non-issue. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Emily,
I think it's.
I know she's not getting married to me, so that's.
So he's like, doesn't matter.
Would you marry her, Jared? Like in real life? Like, let's say she's single. You guys met in New York. Would you marry her? What are your thoughts on that?
Would I marry her? I mean, I've never met her, so how can I say I would marry someone if I've never met them?
Do you mean like somebody of that like level of fame? Or
no, I just mean her. Like, I don't know in real life if that would be like, I don't know. You know,
it's hard
I feel like
being with someone who's at that level of fame would be a pretty difficult task.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
Emily, what do you think? Do you think she's married?
Well, after I saw that, like when she announced it and then she put that picture out from the Willow music video, I was like 100%. Like I was like, and like, cause she said, it was, you know, a white dress, white headpiece, like, and you couldn't see her left hand. So I was like, all right, probably, or at least engaged. And then I figured that the Willow music video, since she was also dropping that, was going to be somehow like an announcement of like engagement or marriage. And then it didn't. I was very confused after I watched the music video. I was like, oh, I decided to watch the music video before I listened to the album. And I don't know if I would have done that if I would have known what the music video was. Because I think it like painted a picture of the album and I was like, huh. Have you guys watched?
I didn't watch the music video, so I gotta do that.
It's really interesting. It definitely has a lot of like callbacks to folklore. Like she's following around this like golden string the whole time type thing, and I feel like that's like invisible string or whatever, but and she's like she takes off like her wet like cardigan from the Cardigan music video. It like goes kind of from that into like this one, but there's this like part of the thing where she's like dancing around like a fire in the woods with like all these people who have these like lace masks over their faces, and apparently it's supposed to be like witchcraft, which it totally looks like, and I was like not mentally prepared. I did not know that's what I was gonna be watching. I was just like, oh no. I didn't know. And it was like, 11 p.m. because I waited up to listen to it. And I was just like, this was not the right mindset. Like I should have waited. But
I think in 5 years though, if she came out and said like, oh, I've been married for like 7 years, it wasn't a big deal, I think that would be really cool. Like I feel like that'd be like an understated, like super classy way to do it,
Yeah, I do. It does seem like she really wants everybody. The ones that I've read that I think like make the most sense to me are the ones where like people have said that she like wants to get married and have kids, and she's always said that she never wants to like raise them in the spotlight. I don't know. So it makes sense if she's like, somebody said there's going to be a third album. Do you guys think that?
No, I don't think that's true.
I don't either. I think it's kind of abstract.
I saw somewhere, Twitter, who knows, but that. They were like, yeah, there's definitely a third one to this, and she, I think, was like flat out like, no, that's not true. It would make, I guess, like logically it would make sense because, so the other thing is like, she recorded this one at the same time that when she recorded
the first one.
Yeah, the first one.
Folklore.
Both of them were done, and I guess that she just, I don't know how
picked different
like mixing and all that stuff works, but.
And in that interview I watched, she did mention that on Folklore it has, is it 15 tracks? And then this one has 16. It's something where it adds up to, the number of songs adds up to 31, and she released it on her 31st birthday. Yeah. So I don't know how you could stretch that in a way that makes, like if the numerics make sense to do a third. She also did say, which I will say this is kind of hard to believe, but also at the same time, maybe not. She said that the reason that everybody was zooming in on the Folklore cover and it said Woodhaven or Woodvale. Yeah, and she said, what?
Isn't it where she recorded it in New York?
No, she said that it's, she said, and this is just what she said, so I don't know, but she said that it was maybe going to be it's something very, very interesting. She made it like, that was like the code name. She said that she didn't tell anybody on the team the actual name of the album Folklore, but Woodvale somehow makes sense because it's the same number of letters. She said that it was like the fake names because she didn't want Folklore getting out there, and that she put it on all the mock-ups, and then they forgot to take it off of the cover when they went.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
but Good Barrel Place, is that a recording studio or something, Jared?
Well, I thought she recorded it in upstate New York at this like really chic cabin. It's from, let me hold on.
Like the Long Pond. Did you guys watch the Disney Plus thing?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, yeah, that was really cool. But no, she just said that it was a printing error. Like they forgot to take it off, and I was like,
that's kind of awesome.
I know, I do too if it's true, but I was just kind of like, you'd think like it's not their first rodeo.
Before we get too much into this, we have to say another person has entered their 30s on this call, and it's Jared King, and it was his birthday.
Jared,
happy birthday, Jared!
Happy birthday! When was it?
What day was it? Saturday.
Oh
my gosh!
Nice.
Yes. I feel like 30s are the best. Emily, how old are you?
28.
28. You're not there yet. 30s are legit the best. Everyone said it. Early 30s. I don't know about late 30s. That kind of freaks me out, but early 30s have been like legit the best. You feel the best. You don't care what people think. You're more confident.
I will say I've always looked forward to it. Everybody says it. They say the 30s are the best.
True. It's seriously true.
I would say the same. Literally everyone has told me that. Like, they're like
100 times.
20s are just nothing compared to your 30s. You'll have so much more fun, so much more like into yourselves. Like not into yourself, but into your own.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
And this is one of the only birthdays where I woke up the next day.
I felt fine.
No, I actually feel 30. I did not feel fine.
Oh, I was like, wow, okay.
Oh my gosh.
And actually feel,
like you're ready for it.
I'm totally ready for it. So.
Oh my gosh. 20s are so fun, but like there's just something about it. You just feel like inwardly, you just feel better. I think that's the thing. You just are like ironed out a little bit.
Yeah, totally.
So, oh my god. Well, happy birthday.
What a great birthday present for you.
I know, right? I'm pretty pumped about it.
That's so great.
But yeah, I don't know. I really like the new album. I liked it better than the last.
Let's do opening thoughts. So Jared, opening thoughts on Evermore.
I thought it was great. I thought it was more to me like I don't know, like I just more of the genre of the type of her music that I like. I felt like it was a little more country, a little more poppy, a little bit, but still also emotional. And like some of that, like when you were talking about the music video, like the word that comes to mind is like ethereal, like kind of like that vibe. And I don't know, I thought it like speaking of being in your 30s, it seems a lot about what is coming. Like if you look at her character arc, like her arc of who she is as a human, and with their documentary on Netflix and all these things, it's like seems like she's finally able to kind of come into her own and like not only like sing the way she wants to sing, but make the music that she really wants and portray herself in the way that she really wants. So that's at least the vibe that I'm getting, and I hope everyone is able to do that. But especially for her, because she's such an amazing artist.
I really love it. It's just so beautifully worded how you say these things. I really like that. Okay, cool. Emily, what about for you? What were your like overall thoughts?
Kind of similar. Like I liked that it was a little bit more, it's funny because not upbeat, because there's nothing that's like really boppy, except for maybe one or two. But in comparison to Folklore, it was like you could listen to it and it's a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
And there are only a couple songs that you're like, oof, like you really feel it. But I think that I liked listening to it through. It's one that I definitely like. I've been playing it all the way through, which I didn't do with Folklore, because there were a couple on Folklore that I was like, like I like it, but I could probably like skip it. This one, I'll listen to all of them. I really, I think they're all really good. I think it's really sweet. Like the couple of like callbacks to Folklore that she did, the one about her grandma, I think is nice. But overall, I just like listening to it all the way through, which is very rare, I think, for any album from any artist.
Yeah. I liked this one so much better than Folklore. Like, I don't know, like Folklore I was having a hard time with, and I got the stories and I got it. I just am like an upbeat person, and it just like made me feel like everyone was sitting in the corner crying in like really fuzzy blankets, and I couldn't deal with that. So like I feel like this one is kind of like we're coming out of quarantine and there's some more happiness, but there's still like more depth to this one, I think. Like there's talks of like infidelity, and then like her grandma, and then like kind of more of the story, but in more of a relatable way, I feel like. I don't know, I just really, like you said, I've listened to the songs multiple times and I like them better every time, and I didn't really do that with Folklore.
Yeah.
I just felt like it was personally more relatable, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a cool, she's done something very unique, which in Folklore she did kind of, I mean, I guess she did. Like all of these songs are kind of like a bit subjective. Like you can put yourself in whoever's shoes. You can find a song that's like about something you've experienced, where I feel like most of her music up until now has been about like her life experiences, which makes sense, obviously, but this feels a lot more like people can just relate to specific things. Like everybody, you know, well, not everybody, a lot of people have had really close relationships with their grandmas, or like, you know, the No Body No Crime is a very funny one.
Oh my gosh.
I listened to it and I was like, wait a second.
You didn't like it?
I loved it, but I was like, not expecting it.
I'm like, why do I love the murder song so much? And then I really like crime shows and stuff. I'm like, this is going down a dark path, but I loved that one. I thought that one was fun. It was a little more hard hitting. There was like more to it.
Well, it was one of those ones that like every chorus changed slightly, right? To like keep the story going. And so every time like the chorus came around, it wasn't the same thing. It was like you had to listen and it kept progressing, and it was so fun to see like where it went.
And I like the name Estes. I wonder where that came from. But like the girl's name, wasn't it Estes?
Yeah.
Like it's just a weird name to pick. So I'm like curious. I got to dig into like why, you know?
I have seen some, because I think that like Marjorie, and obviously that was her grandma, I guess, but like Dorothea, like there are some crazy theories out there about why those are the names. And I don't know where these people come up with it or how they find this out. Like it's the people there get so in depth.
The deep dark holes of the internet.
Yeah. Yeah. There's like a theory about the third album, because there's apparently over 100 years ago, I guess now, there were a set of siblings named like Marjorie and Dorothea and Alan, no, a man's name. They had a brother, and they all lived in like Pennsylvania, and I don't know. It is they've connected all these dots, and they've proven all these things, and it's all based off of the names, which
I also felt like this album could happen anywhere, like in mid-America. Like when she's talking about like murdering the girl, I don't know. I see that happening somewhere in mid-America for some reason, where like all of the other songs, like on the first album for Folklore, I felt like that was specific to like East Coast, like, you know, New York, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island. Like I just wasn't able to pull myself out of that. No offense, Jared, I know you live up there, but there's nothing wrong with it. It just felt more like that specific area instead of all over the United States to me.
Yeah, well, I think also just to encapsulate it all seems like it's much more storytelling-esque than her other ones have been. At least what I felt like. So
yeah.
I feel like if there was a third album, like I'm just kind of ready for something totally different. I think her next album should be more hard hitting and like bumping in the club. Like maybe give us some like EDM or something crazy, Taylor. You know?
The Roaring 20s. Let's do it.
The Roaring, yeah, seriously.
That's right.
Yeah, and I could see that because, and she said this is the only time she's really done like for like albums. Everything's been kind of different. So I don't know. We'll see.
Jared, what was your favorite song on the album? Do you have one that stands out?
Yeah, I think the Champagne Problems.
Oh, I like that. Why did you connect with that song, Jared?
I don't know. Just it was I listened to it. It was boppy, and it's like I'm into it. And then also on Spotify, I'm looking right now. Did you see like the Willow the Witch collection?
Yes.
What's that? Wait, what is that?
So so she takes Willow, and there's 3 different versions of this song. One's called Dancing Witch version. One's called the Lonely Witch version, and the other called the Moonlit Witch version.
Yes.
That's so weird.
So after she released those, it made me feel a little bit more okay with the music video, because I was like, oh, I guess she was trying to do a witch thing here with this one, because at first I was like, that is kind of jarring, and then when she started releasing all the different remixes, I was like, okay, I get it.
So then is Willow a name? Is that supposed to be a name as well?
I have no idea.
I don't know. I guess in the song she references the tree, so I thought it was the tree, but maybe I'm too literal. I'm not.
Maybe that's like a witch's name or something, you know?
Ooh.
Could be,
Like,
honestly. You never know.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But
Um,
that is it. So Champagne Problems, and then the Dancing with Witch version, which is like the poppy.
in the club. That's kind of awesome. Okay, I gotta listen to that. I didn't hear that.
For sure.
What about you, Emily? What's your favorite?
Well, I really do also like Champagne Problems. I thought it was cool that she made a song that like, it's obviously about a specific story she's telling, but it kind of feels like everybody, you know, everybody's got their own thing going on. Again, talking about going into your 30s and like not caring as much about like what people think. So people don't care as much about you as you think they do. You know what I mean? And so I think it's something like that where it's like they're not judging you like you think they are, but also they don't see your problems as like that big of a deal like they are to you. So that's I don't know.
Whereas like in high school, you think everyone's looking at you all the time, and it's like no one's even looking at you. Like
no, they're worried about people looking at them. Yeah. So I like that one, but I also really like Dorothea. I think it's really cute. Like it's an easy one to listen to. And
what was the Dorothea one about again? I'm like,
it's about like a girl who grows up in a smaller town I don't even know if she says it's smaller, but she and then moves to LA and becomes famous. And then it's like all about like her hometown people that like still know her and they like wonder if she's the same, and it's just cute.
I like that one. Yeah. I liked Coney Island. I thought that one was one of my favorites. I thought that was cool. And it was like, cool. Isn't that the centerfold line where he's like, I should have made you my centerfold?
Ooh.
I think it is.
That one? Yeah. I thought it was that one where they're like kind of like, in my head, they were having like a breakup on Coney Island. I don't know if this is right, or she's like there kind of reflecting. I just really liked it. I thought it was cute.
Yeah, I like that one. That's the one with the National, right?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And then Bon Iver, which one was the Bon Iver one? Because I actually, was that Evermore? See, I didn't like that one as much as the first Bon Iver.
Yeah, I didn't either.
It
felt like there were like 3 songs mashed into one. And again, I'm not an artist. Maybe I'm just like not deep enough.
It like switched really drastically.
Changed. Everything changes in that one.
But I liked the Bon Iver on Folklore a ton. And then this one, I was kind of like, I'm not feeling it.
Yeah. I know. I agree.
I don't know, personal opinion, I guess. But do you think Closure is with Scooter Braun? Do we know which ones are about Scooter Braun?
Oh.
That actually,
because I thought the Closure, I was like, I wonder if this was in my head. I didn't research anything, of course. I was thinking like maybe Scooter Braun sent her some kind of like apology letter or like a closure letter. And she was like, not having it. Like, I'm not having your closure.
Yeah, I think. Well, I did see recently because she posted about that whole saga and like he was going to sell the stuff to this Irish.
He didn't. I think he sold it.
Sold it.
I think he turned around and sold it. Yeah. So I think perfect. That's where I don't know. I was listening to it. I was like, this would be perfect if that's what happened, because it's kind of like, obviously now you realize you did something wrong, and then you like had just sold it.
Yeah, it would be interesting.
A quick Google search is saying the
I love that Jared's like, let me look.
the jury's still out, but they say the 2 main camps are either Scooter Braun or any of her exes, like Harry Styles or Tom Hiddleston or anything like that.
Totally, but that was so long ago now.
I know, but I've heard a lot of that too. Is that a lot of these songs are actually for her like long ago exes, like and they one of them. I was like, okay, at this point I can't. I was trying to follow along, but one song, and I don't even remember which one, someone has a theory that it's about like 6 different exes in one. And they're like dissecting, like every like 3 lines it switches to who it's about. And I can't remember which one it was, but I was like, whoever connects these dots, good for you. But it's definitely like, I think a little bit of grasping at straws.
Do you think she's sitting there like, I don't know, man, we just made it up? And then everybody goes wild with these stories. And she's like, it was like 2 a.m. We just made up the song. That's it,
Yeah, well, I think that's what the story, I mean, it never has to be, it's probably, first of all, nothing is ever one or the other, I think.
That's true.
In general.
True.
She can take emotions from all of your different experiences and then just like channel it into one thing, which to me makes probably a little bit more sense than being like, this was that one time that happened. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but like, but like what we were saying before, these are all like experience. It's a story. It's all experiences that we as humans have and that we can relate to, and that's why we're having this Zoom call, because we're like all into it and like, so whatever. So I think I think more likely than not, it's probably like a little column A, a little column B, but
Yeah, I agree. I think she definitely does some things on purpose, and then some I think she's probably just like impressed that people can even
like that they care.
yeah.
I think she's done a good job like growing up though. Like some of those stories are definitely like more intense, like infidelity and things like that. Like I feel like she's done a good job growing up, but still being able to tell it in a way. Whereas if you're little, you can still like hear it and kind of pull pieces out, I think, you know?
Yeah, on that same interview, sorry, I keep talking about it. But
no,
it was
I'm
just
glad you
interesting to get her take. He pulled up, I guess on Reddit, somebody had made a chart of like through the years and the different albums and like how many swear words were in each album and then which swear words they were. And again, people where you get like the time and creativity. But he was like just like joking. He's like, you had like 0 in Speak Now and you had like hell in your first one and then like damn, and now we're all the way up. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. But anyway, it was very funny. I didn't even realize what I was doing. But yeah, so that was funny. I don't know. She just like she started laughing. She's like, it's been a tough year. I don't know. But it's definitely that's like you guys should watch that interview. It's very good. It's very funny.
And that one is with who? Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel?
One of the Jimmys. I think it's Jimmy Kimmel.
I would say it's Jimmy Kimmel because Jimmy Fallon doesn't ever get that serious.
Yeah, I think it was Jimmy Kimmel, and he did a really good job. It's only like an 8-minute interview, but an over Zoom.
Emily, I think you would be Jimmy Kimmel. I would totally be Fallon. I'd be playing weird games. Like you would be like the in-depth.
I just want to talk to him. I'm not creative enough to do the games.
Right. So that's why I'd be Fallon.
Yeah, you'd be all over it.
Totally. Who are you, Jared? Who's your personality talk show that you would be?
I don't know about my personality, but I really like James Corden. I think he's hilarious.
Oh my god!
Oh yeah, he is so funny.
That's good.
He is funny.
That's really good. Oh my gosh! All right, guys.
Oh wait,
anything else you want to say?
Yeah, this is a very random thing, and I thought it when I first heard the song, and then I saw a theory, and I was like, okay, maybe. But there is also something people have been talking about as maybe some of the songs are calling back to like her older songs. And I think if you listen to the first like instrumental like few lines of No Body, No Crime, it kind of sounds like Should Have Said No, which makes sense.
That's so.
But I heard it and I was like, nah. Like you know how when you hear just the beginning of songs, you always hear another song.
But that's like that's very like kind of parallel.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I did watch the documentary and it said something about the thing that made me think I was wrong is it sounds like they wrote the music before the words on a lot of them. So maybe it was a coincidence.
Would you recommend watching that documentary? Like, did you feel like you learned a lot?
Yeah, I thought it was cool. I mean, anybody who likes her music and anybody who likes I think even just music in general, it was a very unique record or album, you know, putting it together and none of them were in the same room. So them talking about it, and it's cool because before
none of them were in the same room when they put it together? I didn't know that.
No, this was the first time that they all played it together was for this documentary. So like before that, it was all recorded separately and like collaborated separately and really, really interesting. That's I think why they got together because they had never been able to play them in the same room. So it is a cool documentary, and I don't know what you thought, Jared, but
yeah, I thought it was awesome. I like totally agree. I think it was really cool. You should definitely watch it. Okay. Speaking of documentaries of other girls that Taylor Swift is friends with, Ariana Grande, I don't know what your thoughts on that are, but she just came out with one too, I think.
I saw that
documentary. I just know she's
more like a fan concert type deal, but
okay.
I think it's really interesting that Demi Lovato, this is totally off not where you were going. We can switch it back, but that Demi Lovato got engaged and that didn't work out, and now Ariana's getting engaged and like maybe that'll work out, but like that's not great. It's not great for the Scooter Braun camp. Speaking of, that ties into the Taylor Swift comments. Okay, so Jared, what were you saying about her documentary? Just that it's good?
No, I know it's out and it like it looks. I don't know. It's just more like it's more like a concert type thing. Like it's just a live concert, so it's like a fun thing to watch.
Cool. It's interesting how they all like things happen in clusters. I feel like for a lot of celebrities, like she just announced her engagement and now this is out. It's like probably not a coincidence, but an exciting time for her.
Yeah, totally.
I really like these like
Happy holiday.
more raw documentaries.
Yeah, exactly. Like enjoy.
I think like the fact that they just like played songs together, that's cool. That makes me want to watch the T Swift documentary.
Yeah, it is cool. It's also, I think, always fun to be able to hear, especially from Taylor Swift, but straight from the artist, what they were thinking when they wrote it.
Yeah.
So it's cool because she breaks down every single song and talks about what she was feeling when she was writing it and what she kind of wanted other people to get from it.
I think that's cool.
Totally.
Okay, guys, do we have any other deep thoughts on this album besides I like it better than Folklore?
Yeah.
Better than? Okay. So we all three agree.
I think so.
3 thumbs up.